It's What's the Buzz with Leo. That's right, it's me, Leo! Interviewing the experts and taking you behind the scenes to find out all the buzz about the amazing work that's happening at Parks Canada to help our pollinators. There's exciting news, pollen heads. Thanks to the Pollentabulous team at Parks Canada, pollinator pals are popping up everywhere these days. I'm chatting with Amy from Fort Rod Hill and Fisgard Lighthouse National Historic Sites in the Garry Oak Learning Meadow to hear what's buzzing with pollinator pals in their area.
We've created a program called Be a Pollinator Pal. It's a school program.
Be a pollinator pal? Ha! Nice one, Amy. So how does one become a pollinator pal?
In that program, we teach them what pollination is and why it's important in terms of helping create the food that we eat, and then all the pollinating all the wildflowers and fruits that animals rely on. We then teach them how to tell the difference between a bee, a fly, and a wasp, which is really important when learning how to identify pollinators.
That's wing-tastic! A lot of people probably don't know that wasps and flies are pollinators too.
Yes, that's right. And then we go further into all the different types of bees based on where they carry their pollen. So I have a bee costume that I wear, and I can stick pollen on myself depending on what kind of bee that I am.
Nice costume. I'm still working on mine. Haven't gotten the wings quite right yet.
And so once we've learned about pollinators and how to identify them, we actually go out into the meadow and we split the kids up into small groups. They sit down in front of a patch of native flowers and we give them a data sheet, and they actually count how many different pollinators visit. So flies, wasps, butterflies, different kinds of bees. And that gives us real data on what's visiting our meadow.
Great gills! It's like you're creating your own Pollen Heads Explorer Club.
Yeah, that's right. And at the end of our program, we actually have each student take a Be a Pollinator Pal pledge, which just has them commit to taking some actions to conserve pollinators.
Ooh, a pollinator pledge! What a great idea! So, have you had any surprises since your pollinator pals started collecting data?
A huge surprise has been that western bumblebee, which is a threatened bumblebee species in Canada, has started using our meadow. So that was really exciting.
A threatened pollinator being spotted in the meadow by new pollinator pal graduates? That's buzz-tastic! So, Amy, can anyone be a pollinator pal?
You can be a pollinator pal wherever you live. It's as simple as trying to figure out what native plants are indigenous to your area, whether or not you can plant some of those in your garden. You can just implement pollinator-friendly practices into your care of your landscape. So it can be mowing your lawn a little bit higher so that more wildflowers grow in your lawn. It can be putting out some water for bees or leaving some bare soil, since a lot of our pollinators actually nest in the ground. And it can also allow you to be a bit of a messy gardener, which I'm sure lots of people won't mind. So to be a messy gardener just means that you leave some of your plant stems from one season to the next, because those plant stems are actually habitat for a lot of our bees that nest in hollow plant stems.
There you have it. You want to be a pollinator pal? Embrace the mess, people. But Amy, if you don't have a garden, can you still help our pollinating friends?
That's a good question, Leo. Even planting a single planter of native plants or plants that pollinators like can make a big difference. And if we all do that, if we all have planters of native plants or convert a boulevard or, create a hedgerow, for example, along our fence line, if we do that in our cities and then in our farms and we expand that across Canada, then we're creating these pollinator ways or these pollinator pit stops. And every little bit of habitat makes a difference and makes our landscape more friendly for pollinators.
Pollen Pals Unite! It doesn't take much for us to support our local pollinators. All of us doing one little thing can make a huge difference. And that is certainly buzzworthy.